Hey everyone. So for those of you who've been paying attention to my videos, my live streams, and my Facebook page, basically most of my social media pages and my presence has been inundated and overwhelmed with COVID-related material. And why is that, you ask? Because, yeah, we're seeing the central planners, the control freaks, the sociopaths among us, the globalists in particular, have been busy trying to politicize and propagandize basically all information as it pertains to the COVID-19 outbreak. And we're seeing, we don't even have to really get into the speculation as to the reasoning behind it or whether there's any conspiracy involved. We can put all that stuff on the back burner and just use their own information, their own facts, their own articles, their own rhetoric against them. Not that I got anything against people who do support or promote or talk about conspiracy theories. Because, yeah, that's the other thing too, folks. To pretend or suggest that people don't conspire to do things that are in their benefit or best interest, okay, right? Yeah, that don't exist at all in the real world, right? No, that's only something that happens on TV or movies, right? Right. Let's do one of these, right? Anyways, folks, seriously though, come on. We all know that the term conspiracy theory or conspiracy theorist is used as a means to try to silence, suppress, or get others to bully or intimidate anyone who challenges status quo or the rhetoric from the ruling establishment or their political, economic, or ideological counterparts. Anyway, like I say, you folks that do pay attention to my material, you've probably seen on my Facebook page that I have had pinned basically for what? It's been months and months and months, but I pinned an article way back early on when this COVID-19 outbreak first started. Because I heard the rhetoric come from that Dr. Teresa Tam, the one that said, yeah, no drinking after 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve because viruses apparently can tell time too, right? But anyways, whatever, right? But basically, what I heard her suggest that a herd immunity strategy, oh no, we can't do that. No, herd immunity, no, we can never do that. I was like, well, wait a minute. That's something that's actually quite normal and actually considered to be a proper method to protect citizens, or should I say people. I guess we're all citizens in some way, right? We're all living under a state. We're all living on a plantation, right? So I guess we're all citizens at the end of the day, right? Dang. But anyways, so basically all people or all citizens can gain protection, aka herd immunity, by way of natural immunity. In other words, as more and more people, just like the cold, just like the flu, just like measles, just like mumps, just like chicken pox, right? I mean, we've all seen, a lot of us, especially us Gen Xers, you must remember when we were kids and our parents would have chicken pox parties, right? Oh, someone in the neighborhood's got chicken pox. Hey, send your kids over to play with them, or let's have a little party. So everybody gets chicken pox, gets over it, and we can all get back to school and back to living our normal lives, right? Well, that was quite normal. And yeah, none of us died. None of us were harmed. Oh, I'm sure you can find some exceptions or outliers. But yeah, we relied on our natural immune system. And for most of us, the overwhelming majority of us who are fairly healthy, it works just fine. Now, there is another way to gain herd immunity, and that's by way of the vaccine. Injecting something into your arm or wherever they want to place that needle filled with, well, I don't know, whatever, right? Whatever they decide, whatever concoction they put in. I'm not just suggesting that anything on their hand or anything, but like I say, all that does too, and I will add this in the equation, and of course, check to verify whether I'm correct in my information or not, but from what I understand, is all of these vaccines, basically, you just use a different methodology to basically enact your own immune system, or to ramp up your immune system, or to trigger your immune system. So the vaccine itself is not what protects you from the virus. The vaccine does something, has some kind of process that triggers your natural immune system. So at the end of the day, we're all relying, whether it's through the vaccine program or through natural herd immunity, we're all relying on evolution and our natural immune system that we all have as human beings. And just like everything in terms of human beings. Yeah, for sure. We're not all created equal, and not everyone's going to have the same or equal outcome. But once again, the overwhelming majority of us would be fine under either strategy. Now, what I'm going to be referencing here in this particular video is the very real fact, and thanks for Postmillennial for reporting on this, that the WHO has, for some strange reason, decided to change and reword what the term herd immunity even means. Let me get to the article and better explain what I'm talking about. Headline of the Postmillennial: WHO changes definition of herd immunity to only include vaccination, removes community immunity. The WHO changed the definition of herd immunity on their website, eliminating the original position that it could be achieved by the virus spreading through the population. Reported by Ari Hoffman, December 24th, 2020. The World Health Organization, WHO, changed the definition of herd immunity on their website, eliminating the original position that it could be achieved by the virus spreading through the population. The website now states that herd immunity can only come from vaccines. And here you see a tweet by this Ari Hoffman. Anyone want to explain this change on the WHO website regarding herd immunity? Looks like they removed the part about immunity developing through virus spread or vaccine in favor of only a vaccine. And as you can see, this Ari gentleman shared an actual screen capture of both. And fortunately, we have people out there who are proactive and paying attention to stuff. Because, yeah, if you're not catching this information prior, once again, after the fact, well, they'll just say, no, you must have been mistaken. No, you didn't see that. Well, yeah, we did, because it's right there. And it's archived. The WHO website, actually, they got probably a link to an actual archived original article from the WHO, because as you can see, this is actually highlighted, and if you hover over it, it'll actually send you to another website. So definitely check that out just for confirmation purposes. Anyways, the WHO website originally said that herd immunity happens when a population is immune either through vaccination or immunity developed through previous infection. This means that even people who haven't been infected or in whom an infection hasn't triggered an immune response, they are protected because people around them who are immune can act as buffers between them and an infected person. And that's in quotations, folks. So they're obviously quoting straight from the WHO website. However, the WHO's updated website states that herd immunity can only be achieved by mass vaccination programs and removes the path to immunity through spread of the virus. Other changes were also made to the site. So here it is again, folks. And yeah, thanks to these fine folks here at Postmillennial or anyone else who were proactive in making sure they had screen captures or archives of this fact, because once again, could you imagine the propaganda that they would espouse if we didn't have this kind of a proof? The original definition of herd immunity fails to identify the pre-COVID consensus in the medical and scientific communities on how it is achieved. Originally, those methods were either by vaccine or by a virus spreading through the population, and natural immunity emerges from antibodies produced in response to a virus in enough community members. The WHO's updated version insists that herd immunity can only be achieved by mass vaccination programs. So once again, that updated version with the underline there, that's to give you a link to the new one. So once again, all kinds of not just information, but ways for you to verify that, yeah, there's some serious manipulating going on at the WHO website. Herd immunity, also known as population immunity, is a concept used for vaccination in which a population can be protected from a virus if a threshold of vaccination is reached, the website adds. Herd immunity is achieved by protecting people from a virus, not by exposing them to it. The website continues, herd immunity exists when a high percentage of the population is vaccinated, removing the original option of herd immunity being achieved through community exposure. The WHO has been criticized since the beginning of the pandemic for regularly changing positions and offering conflicting advice from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, especially with regards to the necessity of masks, lockdowns, and contradictory guidelines. The WHO has also been called out for covering for China's involvement in the outbreak. So yeah, folks, there's some crazy stuff that's taking place out there. And once again, I do this stuff just like I'm sure the fine folks at the Postmillennial do. We're doing this stuff for you to hopefully try to give you some semblance of genuine understanding and clarity in regards to this whole stuff. And I get how difficult it is because, wow, mass disinformation and propaganda campaigns out there. I mean, it's just blatantly obvious and right in your face these days. And like I say, I know how detrimental that could be to people, especially those who may be, not as well informed or as proactive as people like you and I in trying to weed through this information and sort through the truth from the bullshit, right? I know how difficult that can be. You have to be so, not just proactive, but continually so on an ongoing basis. And I get it. Most people, it's really difficult to do that stuff. But you know what? People like myself, people like the contributors to the Post Millennial, we do that. We assume that task for you. And all we really require on the other side of that equation is we'll provide the information. We'll provide the facts and everything that you need to push back against these central planning authoritarians who are constantly trying to stifle and suppress not just your freedom of speech, but your freedom to even live remotely as a free human being. We're trying our best out here, folks, but we're all just whistling Dixie or functioning in a very small echo chamber without more and more people learning about the information that we provide that is so needed and necessary to challenge that rule and establishment, who seems hell-bent on keeping you locked down, muzzled, and in a heightened state of fear for the foreseeable future. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.